How's it going? Welcome to Chats with Spencer. For interviews just like this one full of fun and unique questions, subscribe. New videos every Tuesday and Friday. My guest this week has a YouTube channel analyzing the NBA and interesting aspects of the game. He is Stefan from Heat Check. I had a great time talking with Stefan. He has such a great chill vibe, and it honestly felt like I was talking to a friend the entire time. Make sure you check out Stefan's channel, Heat Check, linked in the description below, and follow him on social media. So sit back and enjoy my interview with Stefan from Heat Check. All right, Stefan, thanks so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm glad you're here.
Awesome.
So Stefan, can you just tell us a little bit about maybe growing up, kind of like what kind of kid you were, your interests, and just that kind of thing?
Growing up, I was always like I wouldn't say like the class clown or something like that, but I
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to have fun, crack jokes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't never a troublemaker, but I would find ways into uncomfortable situations just because I wanted to have fun and kind of, make things happen. But I'm also the shyest person alive. If you go to my Instagram profile, that's the first thing in my bio. So people always ask me, how does that work? Being the shyest person alive, also cracking jokes all the time, and also being on YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
having, many, many views. And I don't know. I don't know how does that work, but it is what it is.
Just in terms of your interests outside of basketball and then like the NBA and that kind of stuff.
And so I've always been like a geek almost in
Okay.
terms of always wanting to hack those phones, the
Mm-hmm.
earlier phone flip phone stuff like that. When you couldn't install any apps on it, I
Mm-hmm.
would always download something extra, either changing the theme, either doing something with the wallpapers, with the apps, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, installing games. So that has forever been my love. And in a weird way, this is a full circle, because right now what I'm doing is it involves using a computer,
Mm-hmm.
using editing, using a microphone, using stuff like that. And so yeah, I've been preparing myself for this moment throughout my whole life, I guess.
Is there ever a part of you that thought maybe you were going to go down the route of tech YouTuber? I know the market is kind of saturated with that, but it's obviously you're
um
passionate about that as well.
yeah, it's a passion, but to be honest, I don't know if I have the knowledge that I see tech YouTubers have.
Okay.
Because when I see myself, I know that I know things, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I also just enjoy them because NBA for me is almost like studying it,
Mm-hmm.
spending many, many hours on every detail. And when it comes to technology, I just enjoy it. And I love to use the gadgets and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say that I would be a good tech YouTuber, but who knows?
And just Stefan, on your days off when you're not making videos, you're just relaxing. What do you like to do with your spare time?
Well, I love to just be with my friends. Either, I mean, obviously now, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
talking in
Yes.
general.
Mm-hmm.
These days are a bit tough, but yeah, just either go for a run, either play ball, either sit down with my friends to just have like a really relaxing talk,
Mm-hmm.
deep talk, have a few drinks involved, maybe to kind of get things moving a bit
Yeah.
better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just love that part of it. I'm a really mellow guy, so yeah.
Have you been running all your life, or is it something more you picked up later in life?
This is interesting because when I was uh, as a kid, when I was training basketball, and
Mm-hmm.
when we had those conditioning drills, I would
Yes.
always be the last kid. I was kind of overweight and
Okay.
didn't have my conditioning right. And throughout that whole time, I would run and I would think to myself, man, I really admire those marathoners. How are they
Mm-hmm.
doing it?
Mm-hmm.
And but I want to say like 2010, 2011, something like that. Something clicked for me, and I started really like paying attention to my nutrition, to training, and
Okay.
it quickly, my running form quickly, went up. And so I really fell in love with it because now it was easy,
Hmm.
and I could just go out and get some music, motivational music, or some podcasts, even
Hmm.
though back then there weren't really podcasts, but with music.
Hmm.
And yeah, and I started running even half marathons.
Oh,
And
nice.
so yeah, although my favorite distance is the 10K,
Hmm.
I've also ran half marathons.
Is there long-term plans to do a marathon one day?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really um that's not really my thing. I don't
Okay.
know why.
Okay.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Oh,
But
all
I
good,
would
man.
love to be better at the 10K first and foremost.
Okay, so you have a goal in mind right now, like what you're shooting for?
Well,
You don't have to say it. I'm just wondering.
oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I would say one interesting thing is that in my country, I've seen some results and times for the
Hmm.
5K, and the
Hmm.
5K, 15 minutes will get you on the pedestal.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna share that goal for
Yeah,
me.
fair
15
enough. Like
minutes for
that's
the
your
for the
yeah. Okay.
5K. Yeah.
All right. Stefan, is there a song from your childhood that just you have like a really vivid memory of? So maybe it's like a song your parents played, something like a song you listened to with your friends, heard on the radio, but for like some reason it's like you remember it so well.
You wouldn't know it,
That's
and
okay.
it's from here, this region. But yeah, I do have a particular song that we used to listen to before going out on the
Okay.
pregame. You say that pregame, right?
Yeah,
Pre
pregame. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And we would have some drinks, we would be hyped, okay,
Hmm.
we're going out, stuff like
Hmm.
that. And yeah, to this day, we sometimes play that song, even though my musical taste right now is nowhere near what it was. But just for nostalgia purposes, we play that sometimes.
And just kind of as a follow up, do you remember the first album you ever bought, asked for, or downloaded?
The first album I downloaded, it was the Eminem Show. I think that
Oh,
was,
okay.
yeah, because he was the hot thing when I was fifth grade, sixth grade. So when I first had an internet access
Hmm.
back then, I think that was the first album that I downloaded illegally.
Hmm.
By the way, don't tell anybody. So yeah, the Eminem Show.
All right, Stefan, can you maybe share your basketball origin story, like in regards of discovering the sport, playing it, watching it?
I would say that I was influenced by my family, both from my dad and
Hmm.
my uncle and grandfather. They would always talk about it. Was again, stay late to watch
Hmm.
games,
Hmm.
and over time, I kind of developed really big passion for it. I would say as early as I can remember, 4 year old, six
Oh, okay.
5 year old Stefan really, yeah, was into it. And I had the incredible fortune to get up, just randomly get up middle of the night, and go to the living room, and my dad was watching the game 6 of the Bulls versus Utah, the Jordan's final
Hmm.
game.
Hmm.
I mean, as a Bull,
Hmm.
and I watched the final minute randomly waking up. I'm never gonna forget that.
What's one thing people might find surprising about you? So it could be a hidden talent, maybe just like an odd interest.
So an odd interest that um, everyone laughs about when it comes to me is that I enjoy watching slash listening to ASMR videos,
Okay.
and I know they're really popping right now,
Hmm.
but I
Hmm.
used to watch them way back, maybe 7 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I still do, by the
Hmm.
way. But I just want to say I'm an early adopter. I'm not a bandwagon fan. So yeah, it really relaxes me, and I love stuff like that. People always give me a hard time because I love going to the hairdressers, to the
Okay.
barbershop, whatever,
Hmm.
to kind of get my hair done, because it's quiet. You only hear the scissors, you hear the spray bottle, and I find that so relaxing. That's one thing that people are like, what are you doing? What is with this?
Stefan, if you could go back in time and visit any time period, so like any time in history, any time before, like prehistory, what time period would you go to and why?
For some reason, the first thing that popped to my mind was the World War. I don't know why.
Okay.
Um, Other than that, if we're not talking about significant like world,
No, you don't have to see
you
an
know,
event or anything. Like,
events,
mm,
yeah, I just want to go back to when I was a kid or high school, to those two time
mm,
periods. Um, I guess when you ask anyone would like to go back to kind of see themselves with these eyes right
mm.
now.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
And my follow up for that is, what game would you want to witness in person? Any basketball game in history, and let's just say you don't even know the result, but like you're gonna go in and like experience it like you've seen it for the first time.
Oh man, that's a tough one. This is a tough one. Um, for some reason, the first game that came to my mind is either the Clay game,
Okay.
Game 6, Golden State versus OKC. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Stephen Curry game winner also against Golden State. That was a wild game. Um, but then again, maybe Game 7, Cavs versus Warriors. Man, I don't know. This is a tough question. Yeah, I guess Game 7 NBA Finals. Yeah, can't beat that.
Right, Stefan, we're gonna switch pace, go to a bit like less in-depth questions, but if you want to elaborate, 100% you do that.
For sure.
What's your favorite sports team?
Favorite sports team? I would have to say the Knicks, since I'm only pretty much watching the NBA right now. It used to be also Manchester United, soccer
Okay.
slash football. Yeah. But let's say Knicks.
Cats or dogs?
Listen, to have at home neither cats nor dogs. I
Okay.
cannot I cannot give them the love they need
Mm-hmm.
right now. But just to pick between them, it's hands down, not even a question, it's dogs. I always have this talk with my friends, like
Mm-hmm.
dog can literally cry, can
Mm-hmm.
literally cry for the owner,
Mm-hmm.
whereas cats, you can, give it food,
Mm-hmm.
you're always around it, stuff like that. One sudden move or one something, they'll scratch you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what kind of like, that's not a relationship that I want to
Mm-hmm.
have with my pet. So yeah, dogs hands down.
All right. Spring or fall?
Spring all day.
M&Ms or Skittles?
I don't know, I'm not really big into those, so we don't really even have Skittles that
Oh,
often
okay.
here in
Okay.
Macedonia, I would say. But I guess M&Ms.
Okay. Just one of your favorite movies.
The Town, The Rock, The Town and The Rock. I like those types of intense movies.
Okay. If your next meal could be anything in the world, what would it be?
Next meal, anything in the world. I don't know. I guess what I said earlier. My mom's calzones.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
NBA player, of course. And when you kind of see that that's never gonna happen,
Mhm.
I wanted to be a commentator, NBA
Okay.
commentator.
Okay.
So in a weird way, this is something similar to
Mhm.
that, and this is exclusive just for your podcast.
Mhm.
I've had the idea of reaching out to my national TV,
Okay. Awesome.
yeah, national broadcaster, to
Mhm.
kind of see if I can be a guest, to just kind of kick that off my bucket list, to
Mhm.
be a guest and commentate a game. That would be huge. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be sick. That'd be like really cool. What's your go-to snack at a corner store?
Go to snack. Um, cashews. It's both.
Okay.
I like the taste. You
Mm-hmm.
can kind of munch on it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So cashews.
Favorite childhood TV show?
Favorite childhood TV show, I guess. I mean, it's a cop out if I say Friends, and now I don't really like it like that. But
Okay.
yeah. But growing up,
Nah, it's all good.
oh, do you know out of those Spanish TV shows, there was one with kids in high school.
Spanish TV
I mean,
show.
I guess Venezuela or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if we got it here. So,
Okay.
but I mean, you can say the name. It's all good.
Rebelde Way. Is the name of the...
Yeah. All right, Stefan. We're gonna talk a bit more ball related questions. So,
Sure.
can you tell me your favorite players, your all time favorite player at each position?
I don't know if I have it by position, but I would say Allen Iverson,
All right.
Gilbert Arenas.
I like that one.
Yeah. I also like Carmelo. I also like. I'm trying to go positions, but let's see. Man, I love the intensity of Russell Westbrook, and I've been criticizing him in some of my videos, and people those videos get a lot of views, so people think I hate him. But on the court, I'm literally Russell Westbrook. I mean, in terms of intensity, not in terms of skills or whatever. I'm Russell Westbrook on the court. Let me give you the last one. I would say if I had, because my shot mechanic is so broken, that's one thing I would love to have, like a nice looking shot. I would pick J.R. Smith's form. He has the nicest form, so I'll include him here.
All right. This could be an easy question or a hard question, but is there a question in your mind who the greatest of all time is? Or who's the greatest of all time in your mind?
It could be an easy question or a hard question. I think I gotta go MJ. All
right. Fair enough. These are just a couple ones. Just like what you have a choice between two players. Just pick who you prefer.
Okay.
Barkley or Malone?
Oh, nostalgia effect for me. My dad was a Jazz fan.
Okay.
I would say Malone. Yeah.
Magic or Bird?
I like shooters. Magic.
Okay. Yeah. And Kidd or Nash?
This might be the toughest for me. I would say Nash, because his shooting is so underrated and exceptional shooter.
Who do you think would have been had there not been an injury in their career, that would have been like the best player that got injured, I guess?
No, this is a tough one.
This is a tough one, yeah.
This is a tough one. I'm just gonna say that this is the prime era for point guards. You have so many great point guards, and I saw this as a tweet, and I just nodded my head. I said, "Yeah, that was true." All the the Lillards, the Westbrooks, all of them, they feared prime D Rose. MVP D Rose was a killer. And I gotta include him. Can you give me like a few more? I mean, Penny, of course, but I haven't.
There's Grant Hill too.
Grant Hill.
Let me think.
Those were a
McGrady was hurt too, right?
I thought of him and I said he was kind of a gunner to me growing up. I really loved him, but he was more of a gunner. Whereas D Rose was the full package. I can't comment too much on Grant Hill and Penny because I've seen clips and stuff like that. I've even seen games, but what I witnessed with D Rose, that was someone else. So D Rose for me.
That's fair. Okay, so most underrated player in NBA history and most overrated player in NBA history.
In NBA history.
Yeah.
Whoa. Man, I don't know. I'll be honest, I really don't
I
know.
mean, just like you could just think of somebody who, well, I think for the underrated, you just think of somebody who just doesn't get enough credit, like in your mind, I guess.
Listen, here's what I can say, and obviously I'm biased on this one, but I
Okay.
really hate the fact how um when people talk about Gilbert Arenas, the one thing that comes up for him is the locker room gun incident
Hmm.
when first and people think that that derailed his career. No, first of all, it was because the injury that he had.
Hmm.
He was back from the injury and wasn't playing good. Then the incident happened. He got traded, and he was never the same because of the injury, not because of the
Hmm.
incident. So I'm gonna include him also in the previous question. About the injured players,
Okay.
Gilbert for sure,
Hmm.
but underrated. He wasn't underrated, but stick with me on this one. So I'm gonna
I can.
pick him.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have an overrated in current NBA and underrated in current NBA?
I I'm not the big I'm not the biggest fan of Kyle Kuzma. I'm gonna be honest.
That's fair.
People
Okay.
people who don't really watch the games, I always have this talk with my friend. He only watches the highlights because
Hmm.
again the games are so late,
That's
and
fair.
he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, Kyle Kuzma is awesome. You see the dunks, you
Hmm.
see the shots," and I'm like, "Dude, he's awesome to you because you only see the highlights. If I
Yeah.
make a 1 minute highlight tape, you're gonna think that I'm awesome."
Yeah.
So Kyle Kuzma overrated for me. I
Uh,
guess I guess I'm gonna be cop out. Is that the word?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
pick
You.
and pick Drew Holiday.
Okay. So
Everybody picks
underrated.
Drew
Yeah.
Holiday. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's all good. Stefan, who do you think's the sleeper team this year? Like a team that's going to surprise people.
Listen, what I'm afraid of is that there's not gonna be too many surprises. Let me check
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Just check the standings. See how things are
not
going.
really the standings, but the team. Because when I'm on the spot, I can't really think of teams.
All
I
good,
know
man.
Utah is first, and listen, there's there's not gonna be surprises. There's I mean my pick to come out of the East is the Brooklyn Nets.
Hmm.
Is that a surprise?
No.
Not
No.
really. So I'm pulling for Utah because I'm a huge Jazz fan.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I know they're the top of the West right now, but
Hmm.
I don't know.
All right. All right. So I gotta ask. I'm a Raptors fan, as you see by the hat. I'm from Toronto. So I'm just wondering, what do you think the ceiling is for this team, and what do you think the moves it needs to make going forward? Just like rough idea.
Before the season,
Hmm.
I I was chilling at home, had a glass of wine, and I went live on Instagram.
Okay.
And I was kind of chatting with
Hmm.
people, and there was also a Raptors fan asked me what I think, stuff like that, and I said they're gonna be in the playout tournament zone. And
Hmm.
I got so much hate. What are you saying? Like Raptors, this is a system, stuff like that. And I
Hmm.
said they lost a bunch of players.
Hmm.
Like they lost key pieces. They lost Ibaka, they lost Gasol,
Oh yeah.
and those were key pieces for them. And
Hmm. Hmm.
now the majority of the game is gonna have to be pulled by my guy Spicy P,
Yes. Siakam.
Pascal Siakam, and I don't know if he's capable of
No, he's not a
just
number one. He's definitely not.
willing, a team to like a home court advantage type
Hmm.
of situation. And since you ask me right now, I still think that's the ceiling because as I look at the table right now, they are 10th, like the bottom
Hmm.
of the playout tournament,
Hmm.
and I think they'll be right around here.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think their ceiling is, if anything, they might just get bounced in the first round, and
Yeah,
that's coming from a fan.
yeah.
And I just have realistic hopes, so it's all good. Uh, and I guess we kind of just you kind of touched upon this already, but can you just tell me your predictions for Eastern Conference Final, Western Conference Final, and the finals, and like in games too, like just like in six or whatever. Just
Okay. I think the most realistic prediction that I can make that makes most sense to me right now is Brooklyn against, man, I want to see Giannis like go deep, and I feel like this team is made for him to go deep, but at some point, are we going to ask ourselves, is he the problem in his playing style? Is that actually the problem? And I want to put him all the way in the conference finals, but yeah, I guess Nets against the Bucks, Nets in 6.
all right.
Clippers, Lakers, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers in 6 again.
All right.
And then I said it before the season, Lakers are gonna repeat. That was my
Yeah, I
prediction
think
before
so.
that.
I think so. I don't think you're stopping that train.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't give you like a surprise team or under the radar. That none of it matters. I'm just enjoying the season. As the players say, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm not looking the big picture because, yeah.
Okay. So, Stefan, maybe can you tell us a bit more about your YouTube story? Like I just noticed it feels like, at least I don't know if you have like older videos, but just like looking at your oldest videos, it's just like a couple of little small posts, then you kind of like explode.
Yeah.
So yeah, can you just like let us know how that went?
So here's the thing. I've been trying to kind of start an online career for myself. I don't think I'm the best when it comes to like office work and the conventional setup.
Okay.
And even before YouTube, I was a freelancer online. I worked project based stuff. I was a video editor, and but I always wanted to get myself on YouTube, and I at the beginning I tried what everyone would try with vlogs, with like ordinary videos, but didn't really work out. But one night I was just kind of laying in my bed thinking about ideas, how can I make this work? And it kind of hit me like, all I know is NBA basketball, so why don't I try and do this? Topics are going to be every day. I'm not going to have to like think
Yeah.
what can I record. Stuff happens every day in the NBA. I tried it out August. It was 4 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago. Tried it. It was more like I don't know if you follow Complex News or whatever news type of channel. I was in front of green screen.
Okay.
Had like a little background behind, and did like a 2-minute videos of some random things. But as I progressed with it, I started getting to the X's and O's and the more strategic stuff, and I saw that those videos people really loved them.
Okay.
The idea was from the halftime show that Inside the NBA does with Kenny. He would break down stuff that happens. With stop the video. Okay, it happens here. It does here. And that was really interesting to me. And when I went online, there weren't really videos like that.
Okay.
And I was like, I wanna do these types of videos for me to see what happened and for people to see what happened. And I inserted little the marker things that I do with different colors. That kind of reminds me of what a coach would do on a whiteboard.
Yes.
And yeah, that's so interesting to me and so illustrative of what happens. I'm literally telling you where to look, what to see, what happens. And so yeah, as I progressed, there were videos that kind of popped. Again, Russell Westbrook's video is one of the video is called Why Russell Westbrook Will Never Win a Title.
Mm-hmm.
and it was during the stat padding seasons that he had in
Yeah.
OKC,
Mm-hmm.
and he really had them. That video has like 10 million views.
Oh, nuts, man.
Yeah, and but yeah, now I focus on game reviews,
Mm-hmm.
player reviews. Like I know the recipe for success at this point is gonna be like mention as much as possible players who are popular like
Mm-hmm.
LeBron or Curry,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't do that. Like my last video was about Emmanuel quickly. Like I really want to review
Mm-hmm.
players who are
Mm-hmm.
lesser known.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with having, you know, a bit less views than maximum, but I want to make the content that I would want to watch. So
That's fair.
yep.
So what's your like favorite pros point? Sorry, what is your favorite part of making videos? Is like the like conceptualizing, filming, editing, that
I
kind of
would
thing.
say I would say before making the video,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of go online on NBA statistics,
Mm-hmm.
or if I want to check out a player, I go through his moves and I watch, because on the NBA stats page, you could see every basket, every assist, everything. And I'll get a snack, play, hit play, and I would
Mm-hmm.
watch like 200 plays from Quickly or from
Mm-hmm.
Chris Middleton or whoever. And so when I see a pattern, oh, he does this or
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
happens on the right block, to me that's the best feeling when I see the pattern. And
Yes.
I
Okay.
and in that moment, it's like a split second, I already know how my video is going to look. And from that point on, I just insert other things, little things. If I see a jump shot that he does, I also want to check his assists or his statistics, field goal percentages, stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But the main thing for me happens when I see the pattern. That's the most exciting.
Yeah, if you anyone who hasn't watched Stefan's video on Heat Check, just really interesting and I think a really unique take. Like you said, that newest video did where you're just like this guy shot 34 floaters out of like 70 something shots, and it's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, man,
half
like
of his shots were floaters. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's really interesting, and you also have a really comical side to your videos, right? Like you're not too serious about it, like you're having fun with
Oh,
it.
for sure, for
So I
sure, for
appreciate
sure.
that.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Stefan, maybe you could share. Do you have a basketball memory, like personal basketball memory? So you playing basketball, that like just stands out to you. So maybe like a game you went off, or a championship game, or just I don't know, just something that pops in your mind when I say like you playing basketball.
We were just reminiscing about this with two of my friends just a couple of days ago. The
Okay.
funny thing about it is that I'm very short. I'm 5'5", and
Okay.
back in the day, I was, overweight, and I literally looked like a ball.
Okay.
And I definitely did not get playing time. I
Mm.
was always the jokester on the bench who was free of all the pressure. I
Mm.
didn't have to go in
Yeah. Yeah.
games and stuff like that. But there was a game where basically I got playing time down by 20 or up by 20.
Mm.
That was
Hmm.
my
Hmm.
time. That's when the oh my god, I'm gonna get in. And so we were blowing out a team, and it was like a rival team. Should have
Okay.
been a close game, but the lead ballooned to like 25-30.
Hmm.
And because it was such a big lead, I actually got a lot of playing time
Hmm.
against
Hmm.
a stronger team. And because I had more playing time, I scored like, for me, that was something astronomical, like 9 points.
Nice.
I I could barely contain the excitement. So yeah, we were laughing about that with my friends a few days ago.
Stefan, what's one thing you wish you knew, that you know now that you wish you kind of knew when you're younger? It doesn't have to be in regards to YouTube, just in general.
The one thing I would say is definitely trust. Have real great circle of people around you who you trust, and who they trust you,
Hmm.
and always be there for each other. Because as we see now with the social media and stuff like that,
Hmm.
I see more and more that every person is for themselves. They
Yeah.
only look for themselves. And I'm really fortunate that I can say that I have a group of people that really love me, really care about me as I do for them. And there were like really specific things that I can say, man, I'm so fortunate to have them. And yeah, if I had known that when I was younger, and when you kind of pick and choose friends because who's popular or who's great at basketball, and so I want to be friends with him, that's kind of stupid. Yeah, just pick the right people around you, and you're gonna be quote unquote successful. Whatever you do, you're gonna get the maximum out of your position by having the right people around you.
And Stefan, what's one thing you'd like to achieve in your lifetime? And this is not limited to YouTube.
I just want to be remembered as a guy that cares, like a person that's always there for his people, and person that really likes to have fun and look on the bright side of life, just enjoying life. That's one thing I want to be remembered as. And in terms of like goals, I would say, because I have some things that happened to me, health related last year, and when that happens, kind of puts things in perspective for you. And the only thing that I thought to myself throughout that whole time was, man, I should have attacked the running more. I should have attacked the running more, And so thankfully, like everything's good. I feel good. And I really want to attack that because I enjoy running, and I want to be as good as possible. I feel great on the track, whatever track that is.
And last question is just, are there any words of wisdom you try to live by, or just like a saying you enjoy? I know you kind of touched upon this already.
2 questions ago, I mentioned the trust, because there's always one saying that my mom used to say. She really engraved that in me. It's, you build trust throughout your whole life and you lose it in a second. Trust is built throughout the whole time, and it can be lost in a second. So just be honest, try to be good, and yeah, I guess that's it.
Stefan, can you let everyone know where we can find you on YouTube, social media, and just any projects you have coming up?
Best place to find me is YouTube. Just search Heat Check, or youtube.com/heatcheck. I would say, because I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram, you can still kind of DM me if there's like a specific question, and really asking genuinely for some type of info about a player or whatever. I usually reply. So at HeatCheckNBA on Instagram.
Okay. Yep. Anything coming up that you can let us know?
Anything coming up? I have a second channel in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a bit more relaxing with compilations and stuff like that. When you're kind of studying and you want to take a quick break and watch some dunks or alley-oops that were supposed to be alley-oops but went in, Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that type of relaxing videos, so that's gonna be out soon.
Awesome. All right, Stefan, thank you so much for joining me. It was a ton of fun talking ball and life with you. It was a really interesting experience. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed this. Questions were awesome and really in-depth, and kind of brought something out of me that I really didn't think that I was going to get out, during a casual interview, but I really enjoyed it. Wish you nothing but the best with your thing. If it's audio, like a podcast thing, maybe. If not, on YouTube, grow as much as possible. And wish you nothing but the best. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Stefan. I appreciate those kinds of words. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for new videos every Tuesday and Friday. And check out Stefan's channel. I'll be sure to link it in the description below. Awesome channel. A lot of fun. And I guarantee you're going to learn something by watching his videos. So check them out.
Thanks so much.
All right. Everyone, take care. And I'll see you next video.